What's up everybody, welcome back to Legit Whiskey Reviews, and today I'll be reviewing Maker's Mark FAE-02. This is the second release in the Maker's Mark wood finishing series. The first release of course was the Maker's Mark FAE-01, and this one is the FAE-02. Like I said, and this is 109.1 proof, so that's 54.55% ABV. And when it comes to the the wood finishing series, they usually have like a little tag on here, and I usually don't pay attention to like tasting notes, but I've noticed that my last bottle, the FAE-01, I read the little tasting notes, and they were like spot on for the most part. So I'm gonna just read this one out for you guys for what they were going for this one. This says tasting notes: a texture forward expression of toasted oak and the rich creamy finish. All right, so like I said, I normally don't pay attention to the tasting notes or anything it says on the label, but like I said, when I noticed the FAE-01, what it said on the label, and they were spot on, so I just wanted to read that out. And so the retail price on this is right around the $70 mark, and these are pretty limited depending on your area. Some areas, a lot of people can find them as soon as they're released. As far as my area, I just got lucky. I just happened to walk in the store. I wasn't really like looking for anything specifically, and this was just sitting on the shelf. So yeah, so let's get into this. Alright, so this has like a light amber color. It's not super dark, but it's not super light either. I'm not sure what the ages are on these Maker's Mark. They're non-age stated, but I believe they're right around anywhere between 4 to 8 years old, right around there. I think more towards the upper part, like maybe between 6 and 8, but I couldn't tell you for sure. So all right, let's go to the nose. So when I first opened this up, I had this open for around 2 weeks now, and when I first opened this up, I really didn't notice that cherry note that I'm getting now. But it's a very, very, very pronounced cherry note, and a deep, rich caramel note, and also a deep, rich vanilla. So what I'm noticing here compared to the FAE-01, which came out earlier this year, is that this one for the moment seems darker, a little bit darker, richer on the nose. But yeah, that cherry note is really, really popping out of this glass right now. I didn't catch that the first time I had this. There's also a lot of creaminess coming through on the nose. And there's a sweet oak coming through as well. There's a hint of spice, but in my opinion, it's not like as much spice as what I was getting with the first release. All right, so now let's go to the palate. Cheers. Yeah, this is good. This is completely coating the palate, super creamy on the palate as well. That cherry note that I was getting I'm definitely getting on the palate as well. Pretty much everything that I picked up on the nose is translating to the palate. It's actually spicier than what I was getting on the nose, but this is my first pour of the day, so that could be it. So let me try it again. But yeah, this creamy cherry note is really what's standing out to me right now. I really like that cherry note. And one thing I noticed with Maker's Mark, like just the regular basic bottom shelf Makers, I always get this like, it's not medicinal cherry, but it's like a generic type cherry that always turns me off to it. I've never been a fan of the regular Makers, but anything else, like I've said before, that Makers puts out, I'm a big fan of, and especially these limited releases. So on this second pour, I'm still getting that cherry note. I'm still getting the caramel. There's like a deep caramel in here. It's still coating the palate, like super creamy. I'm still getting the spice, but it's less spicy. So I think it's because it was my first pour of the day. So I'm still getting that spiciness though. But this second sip here, I got more of a like a rich, sweet oak. It came forward more this second time as opposed to the first time. So let me try it again one more time. But yeah, that nose is phenomenal. And just the way it hits the palate and the way it completely coats the palate and super creamy, like I really like that. Yeah, so that cherry is like turning darker. And now this third time, like the more I sip on it, the spice level stays about the same, but the more I sip on it, I feel like that sweet oak is coming forward more. So it's becoming more oaky as I sip it, which I don't mind, which I really like, because there's so much sweetness up front and that cherry note that really shines through along with the caramel and the vanilla. I just feel like it's a good combination. So, all right, I want to compare it to the first release of the year. This is the FAE-01. This one's just a point higher as far as the proof. This one is 110.6, so 55.3% ABV. So these are pretty much even as far as the proof. So let's get into this one. All right, so I'll read this label here again for you guys. So as far as what they were going for in the FAE-01, it says a fruit forward expression with notes of tobacco and wood. So let's see what we get. Okay, so I feel like this one's definitely fruitier. It's like brighter. And I do get a hint of tobacco in here actually. But this one, like, so this one I was getting the cherry note and I was getting the rich deep caramel and vanilla with the sweet oak. This one's like completely on the other side. This one's while I do get that tobacco note, this one's staying brighter, just on the brighter side of things. Full of like apples, there's a bit of cherry, but these are like lighter, livelier notes than this one's like darker, richer, deeper. So, and I feel like there's oak coming through on this one, but I feel like this one's like sweet, deeper, richer on the oak side as far as the FAE-02. So yeah, like I said, this one's brighter, fruitier. This one's darker, deeper, richer, creamier for sure. But yeah, you know, I really like the nose on the FAE-01 too, though. Yeah, these are really close as far as I think, in my opinion, it's just like a preference thing. But I really like the nose on this one too. Let me go to the palette. This one's definitely spicier. I feel like this one is fruitier, but like I said, it's lighter, and I like the viscosity and the way it coats the palate on the FAE-02 better. I do like the spice that's coming through on the FAE-01. Let me try the FAE-02 again. I think what's winning it for me as far as the nose, as much as I like the nose on the FAE-01, I feel like what's winning it for me with the FAE-02 is like how creamy it is on the nose. There's even a little bit of like milk chocolate coming through. The more I put my nose in here, I feel like that milk chocolate note is actually coming forward more now. So yeah, I like that cherry with the milk chocolate, and then just how creamy it is. For me, in my opinion, I feel like I prefer the nose on the FAE-02. Like, the more I go back and forth, yeah, there's just, my preference leans more towards the darker, richer, you know, cherry, milk chocolate, sweet oak, everything that's coming through here I prefer over the FAE-01. But either way, you can't go wrong with either of these. But my personal preference, as far as the nose, is the FAE-02. But let's go to the palate where it counts. Yeah, this is just like completely like sweet oak now. It's still creamy, coating the palate. There's that milk chocolate note is coming forward now even more. But yeah, as far as the mouthfeel, I definitely so far like the FAE-02. Let me go one more time to the FAE-01. Yeah, I love this nose too, but I just prefer it seems like the FAE-02 is a little bit more complex on the nose. Yeah, same in the palate. I just feel like my personal preference, it just depends what you like. You know, for me, I prefer the darker, richer, fuller flavors that I'm getting in the FAE-02 over the FAE-01. But like I said, it just depends what you like. And on either, you know, on a different day, I could, you know, I prefer maybe the FAE-01 just today, and just the notes that I'm getting from each one. And they're pretty similar. They're in the same ballpark, but just the little differences. I feel like I prefer the FAE-02. So I feel like, you know, they outdid themselves as far as, you know, from the FAE-01 to the FAE-02. So I'm gonna go with this one as far as which one I prefer. And so for my final score for the Maker's Mark FAE-02, I'm gonna give this an A+. If you can find it at retail, it's perfect. In my opinion, I feel like it's perfectly priced at $70. If you can't find it, like I said, you know, I'm not sure how available these are to different states, but like I said, in my state, I just got lucky. You know, I just happened to walk in and I saw it on the shelf. So if you like my content, remember to smash that like button. Remember to subscribe. You can catch me on Instagram at Legit Whiskey Reviews, and keep it legit and do it for the love of whiskey. Cheers.